Have you seen that video? You know the one. It's all over your feed, probably. A toddler is absolutely losing their mind. I'm talking about a full blown meltdown. The red face, the arching back, and that ear piercing scream that vibrates in your own chest. And then, right at the peak of the chaos, the adult shouts a random name like Isabella or Officer Bob, and the child just freezes. The screaming stops mid-breath. They're standing there, chest still heaving, staring around like Isabella is about to drop from the ceiling. And the comment section is losing it. They are calling it a genius, absolute life hack. And look, I get it. It is tempting. It feels like a biological mute button for the chaos when you are just trying to survive the grocery line without causing a scene. But let's be real for a second and ask why it actually works. Well, it works because you just shocked a tiny and vulnerable nervous system into total disorientation. You didn't help them, you didn't calm them, you just hijacked their brain. You traded their long-term growth for 5 minutes of quiet, and we have to talk about the price of that trade. You are training that child to check out the second things get uncomfortable. I am so glad you're here. I'm the nurture navigator and a child development professional as well as a behavior specialist. This is Little Feet Big Guidance. I help parents and educators make sense of what is actually happening in the mind and heart of a child when things feel a bit overwhelming. Everything we discuss here is grounded in research and shaped by experience, but it is always guided by a foundation of intentionality and a lot of love. Are you ready? Let's go. I really want to speak directly to the parents and educators who are feeling the heavy weight of these long days. I know exactly what it's like when the clock feels like it's standing still and you still just need one moment of peace. That exhaustion is real, and it is exactly why those viral hacks are so tempting. When you are drained, a quick distraction feels like a lifeline because it stops the noise and gives you a second to breathe. But we have to be honest enough to look past that immediate relief and see why these shortcuts are actually the greatest missed opportunity to build the character of your children. We know the science of it, don't we? When a child is in a meltdown, their logic is gone and their upstairs brain is officially offline. But when we use a trick to snap them out of that pain, just to get through the moment, we are essentially handing them an invisible needle of instant relief. On the surface, everything looks fine because the tantrum stopped. But underneath, you just taught their brain that the solution to internal pain is external distraction. You did not teach them how to carry the weight of a hard emotion. And you actually taught them how to look for the exit sign instead. And this is where the real danger lies. When we as the guiding adults disconnect from their struggle just to find our own relief, we are modeling a lifestyle of avoidance. We are showing them that when life gets heavy, the goal is to find a way out rather than a way through. We are prioritizing our 5 minutes of quiet today over their ability to be resilient adults tomorrow. If they never learn that big feelings are survivable, because they are, and because we're always interrupting them with a distraction. They grow up fearing their own hearts. They become adults who reach for a screen or a substance the second things get difficult, because we taught them that the truth of their pain is something to escape from rather than something to navigate. This habit of looking for the exit is the literal blueprint for addiction. It really is, because addiction at its core is just a desperate search for a way to stop feeling what is happening on the inside. If we train children that the answer to a big feeling is a distraction, we are setting them up for a lifetime of reaching for the phone or the food or whatever else the second life gets difficult. Gabor Maté has spent his life studying this, and he teaches us that the real question we should ask about addiction is not why the addiction, but rather why the pain. If we never let a child feel the frustration of a broken toy or a difficult lesson because we are too busy performing a magic trick to distract them, they never learn that pain is survivable. We're accidentally teaching them to fear their own emotions. The most painful part of this escape is what it does to the relationship between the adult and the child, between you and your child, between you and your student. This leads us to what he calls tragic transaction. It is that moment a child realizes that their truth is a threat to their safety. See, every child has two needs that are constantly competing with each other, which are attachment and authenticity. Attachment is their connection to you and their literal survival, while authenticity is their ability to feel what they feel, who they are. When we use distraction to stop a meltdown, we are basically saying that we cannot handle the real version of them. We sent a silent message that says, I can only stay connected to you if you are happy or quiet. Because a child cannot survive without you, though, they are going to choose you every single time. Essentially, they learn self-betrayal. They start hiding their feelings and abandoning their own heart just to keep us happy, because they learn that to be loved, they have to hide who they really are. Now, moving on beyond the brain science, there is a very real and practical cost to these shortcuts that show up in the way our children face the world. When we reach for a distraction to end a tantrum, we are accidentally quieting the very part of them that learns how to work hard. I want you to really picture what is happening when a child is melting down because they cannot get their shoe on, or they cannot get a tower of blocks to stay up, right? That heat you feel radiating from them is not just bad behavior, it's actually the struggle muscle trying to grow. It is the sound of a tiny human hitting a wall and trying to figure out how to climb over it. But when we swoop in with a shiny toy or a trick to make the noise stop, we are unintentionally teaching them that frustration is the sign to quit. We are showing them that the second life gets difficult, tough, uncomfortable, a rescue is coming to take the effort away. They don't have to keep trying. If we never let them feel the burn of persistence, we raise a generation that is quick to quit because they were never proven to themselves that they are capable of finishing what they start. If they never feel the heat, they never become the gold. Parents, educators, we need to sit in that frustration with them. Not to take the struggle away, but to be the anchor that proves they can do hard things. That is how we build the stamina they will need for the rest of their lives. Once you understand that the struggle is necessary, parents, you can start to build the actual architecture of success. Staying in the fire is the foundation, but the structure of their character is built in the moments after the smoke clears. We have to understand that you cannot correct a brain that is offline. So picture a house being built with me for a second. You cannot put up the walls while the ground is shaking. First, you provide the safety and you sit in the mess until the storm passes and their upstairs brain is officially back online. This is the two-step process that defines their future. Once they are calm, you do not just walk away. No. You do the heavy lifting. You look them in the eye and you guide them. You say, I see you are frustrated because the block fell, but we do not throw. You give them the language they lacked and the skill they missed. This is how you build a successful human. You are not just stopping a behavior. You are handing them the tools to build their own life, brick by intentional brick. Now, I know exactly what you are looking for. You want to know what in the world to do when you are standing in the middle of Target, right? Or a silent library, or a busy classroom, and the air starts to get thick. You can feel every pair of eyes in the room burning into the back of your neck, and in that moment, the hack looks like the only exit door in a burning building. You want to shout that name, Isabella, or do that trick. You want to do something to make it disappear because you are desperate to prove to strangers in aisle 4 that you are a good parent and that you are in control. But I want you to take a deep breath here with me and look at what is actually happening. When we use a distraction just to quiet the room, we are sacrificing our child's safety on the altar of public opinion. We are telling that little soul that the comfort of the people watching matters more than the storm they are fighting. This is the proving ground. But it is not about the child's behavior, it is about your anchor. In public, the goal is exactly what it is at home. You stay present. You become the quiet, steady center of their loud and terrifying world. You show them that your love and your boundaries are not for sale just because there's an audience. When you choose to be that steady object in the middle of the store, wow, you are not just surviving a tantrum. You are proving to your child that they are safe with you, even when the whole world is watching. You are showing them that you are not going anywhere. It stays the same, home and in public. Parents, teachers, when we stop worrying about what the world thinks in the grocery aisle. We can finally start focusing on what is happening in the spirit. Because for a young child, you are the first picture they have of God. If we're always shouting them out of their mess or trying to hack them into being quiet, we are teaching them that when they are broken, they are just too much to handle. They will grow up thinking they have to fix themselves or hide the noise before they can ever go to God. But look at the heart of Jesus. He never distracted people out of their suffering. He never performed a trick to make people stop crying so he could feel more comfortable. He stayed in the fire with them. He met them in the mess. And it was through that presence, that refusal to look away, that the healing actually happened. When we choose to stay in the meltdown, we are giving them a living example of grace. We are showing them that they can be fully seen and fully loved, fully guided at the same time. We are teaching them that God does not want a performance. He wants them. So, the challenge of the week. Here's the challenge of the week. It is a 2-part commitment, parents, teachers. Next time the meltdown happens, I want you to resist the hack. Don't be calling Isabella, okay? Be the steady object. Put your hands in your pockets if you have to. Do not offer a snack. Do not offer a toy or a screen. Just be there until the storm passes. Then, when it is calm, guide them. Teach them the skill they were missing. Stay in the fire for the safety, and then stay in the moment for the success. Watch what happens when that child realizes they do not have to be startled out of their pain because you are strong enough to sit in it with them. But here's the final layer we have to peel back, and it might be the most important part of this whole journey. The reason it is so incredibly hard to stay in that fire is because your child's fire starts a fire inside of you. When you hear that piercing scream, it triggers an alarm in your own chest that feels impossible to ignore. The truth is that your child's big emotions act as a mirror, reflecting back the unhealed parts of your own story. When you reach for a distraction, you might not be trying to help the child at all. You might just be trying to quiet the storm that their noise has woken up inside you. If you were a child who was told to stop crying, or if you were sent to your room the second you showed frustration, the scream of a child today feels like a 5-alarm fire in your nervous system. Parents, teachers, you are not actually reacting to their tantrum. You are reacting to the memory of your own silenced pain. We use these hacks because we were never taught how to sit in our own fire. So we try to put theirs out as fast as possible just so we can feel safe again. But every time you resist the urge to distract, you are doing more than just parenting. You are growing yourself. You are looking in that mirror and telling the small, quieted version of you that it is finally okay to be heard. You are breaking a cycle by proving that a mess does not mean you are unsafe. And that is where the real healing begins for both of you. Parents, teachers, beloved, if you have been the distraction, parent, teacher, person, please hear me. It's not too late. The brain is literally designed for healing and growth. Every meltdown is a fresh new start. You have not ruined your children. You were just using the tools you had at the time. But now, you have a better one, a better tool. You were chosen for this work, and you have exactly what it takes to walk through the fire and build them back up. It is not too late to show them that their messy truth is safe with you. That was a lot to take in, wasn't it? And I think we all needed a deep breath and a massive cup of tea. If you are ready to trade those hacks for real connection, then you need to be in the nurtured parent tribe. Do me a favor and smash that like button if you're ready to be the anchor for the children in your life. Or help me out and comment, "I'm staying," down below if you are committing to the fire this week. I'm so glad you are here doing this work. Go out there and stay in the fire with your children, and remember that you were chosen for this.